My name is Saumik Patel.
I'm Michael Fanning.
And I'm Justin Araki.
And our topic is overpopulation.
Overpopulation is an issue in the United States and all over the world.
This is a chart about world population, and as you can see, the world population has been increasing rapidly since about 1950 due to better medical care and better nutrition.
The causes. Causes of overpopulation include decline in the death rate, better medical facilities, more hands to overcome poverty, technological advancement, immigration, and lack of family planning.
It's an issue because we have limited resources, including housing, energy, food, water, and land, along with increased waste and political strife.
Apocalyptic predictions will occur if population continues to grow exponentially at the rate that it is growing. The poor will quickly overrun the limited resources, and warfare will break out as food and water shortages cripple society. Climate change will accelerate, causing massive and catastrophic weather conditions around the globe.
But overpopulation might be solving itself through the demographic transition. The demographic transition is the process in which societies shift from high birth and high death rates to lower birth and death rates as it develops from a pre-industrial to a post-industrial economic society.
There are 4 stages to demographic transition. The first is pre-transition, which is where population is kept in check by high levels of birth and death rates due to poor sanitation, diet, and education.
The second stage of the demographic transition is development. Populations increase dramatically as death rate decreases due to improvement of sanitation and diet.
The third stage is slowdown. Birth rates decline as access to contraception, as well as improvements to education and the status of women, lead to less emphasis on childbearing as a means of securing ease of life in the later years.
And the fourth and final stage, which is stabilization, which is where both birth and death rates are low, leading to total population stabilization.
Here we have a demographic transition graph. In blue, our death and birth rate. In the stage 1, birth and death rate is high, and total population remains stable and low. Through stage 2, birth rate remains high, death rate falls rapidly, and related increase in population is dramatic. Through stage 3, birth rate begins to slowly decline as death rate bottoms out, leading to a continued natural increase in total population. In stage 4, birth rate finally reaches death rate and population stabilizes. Through a possible stage 5, birth rates decline even further below the natural level of death, causing a stable or even slow decrease in total population.
This process occurs much faster today, as developing nations have access to better technologies.
It took most first world nations 80 years to make the transition. However, other nations are catching up quickly. It took South Africa 34 years, Bangladesh 24 years, and Iran did it in just 10.
In fact, most nations have reached the 4th stage. Case in point, Bangladesh. In 1971, the average woman in Bangladesh had 7 children, but incurred a 25% mortality rate. By 2015, the infant mortality rate had dropped to 3%, and the average woman had just 2.2 children, as illustrated by this graph.
This is the demographic transition in 5 countries. Germany and Sweden are typical first world nations, and it took them around 200 years to go through the demographic transition. Whereas Chile and China, it took them a less amount of time because they had help from the first world nations, and this continues today in third world nations such as Kenya and other parts of Africa.
Factors attributed to faster transition include world poverty is at an all-time low, investment in third world nations has increased dramatically, and spread of ideas and information through the internet.
Solutions.
If you really want to change the world to empower women, improve basic hygiene and health care, you have to educate girls.
Aiding developing nations. Programs that help developing nations lead to a quicker transition into population stability. Supporting organizations that empower women in developing nations. Examples of these are the World Food Program, the Borgen Project, and the Global Poverty Project.
The World Food Program. The United Nations Frontline Agency mandated to combat global hunger, which afflicts 1 out of every 7 people on Earth. In emergencies, the World Food Program is on the front line, delivering food to save the lives of victims of war, civil conflict, and natural disasters. And here's a picture of their logo.
The Borgen Project, an innovative national campaign that works with American leaders to improve their response to the global poverty crisis. In 2009, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation provided a large grant to the Borgen Project as it reached nations in Africa and Southeast Asia.
The Global Poverty Project, an international education and advocacy organization working to catalyze the movement to end extreme poverty. The project was founded by Hugh Evans and Simon Moss and aims to increase the number and effectiveness of people taking action to end extreme poverty.
Thank you for watching this video. Make sure to like and subscribe. You're all my heroes. Peace out.